world hasn't been the same since 1998. 1998 was the year the world progressed in ways the human mind couldn't previously comprehend. Sure, there had been wild technical advancements in the 20th century, but they pale in comparison to the leap in society 1998 presented. Mario Party 1 was released in 1998, shifting humanity far more substantially than any previous historical event. Sorry, Evolution, you did some neat things, but nothing as earth-shattering as Chance Time. As expected, Mario Party held its reign in the party world by releasing sequels. There are currently 19 Mario Party games published. They have taken over the world like I've just taken over your screen. With over 70 million copies sold, Mario Party is a staple in our society. Every gamer knows it. Every relative of a gamer knows it. Every friend of a relative of a gamer knows it. The world knows Mario Party. In case you don't know, and for some reason you clicked on a video titled "The Top 10 Mario Party Minigames to Recreate in Real Life for the Death Sentence," Mario Party is a party video game series featuring characters from the Mario franchise, in which up to 4 local players or computer-controlled characters compete in a board game interspersed with mini-games. Take a look at today's society, the media we digest. So many video games revolve around the concept of Battle Royale. The concept hit the mainstream in 2012 when the Hunger Games film released. It picked up more steam when PUBG surfaced in 2017, and exploded when Fortnite incorporated it later that year. Since then, the world has been infatuated with the idea of being the last man standing in a battle to the death. As a member of society, I too enjoy this, which is why I decided to find the top 10 Mario Party minigames to recreate in real life for the death penalty. Before diving into this, I just want to make it clear that I am not an advocate for the death penalty. The fact that it's even legal in over 50 countries is deeply upsetting, especially when multiple people being executed are wrongly convicted through racism or other hate crimes. This video is complete fiction, and I just wanted to have fun with the idea of it. Back to the gruesome topic. To do proper research and accurate selections, I needed to expose myself to some Battle Royale. So I went back and watched the first Battle Royale film that started it all. Battle Royale! It made me realize how much the Hunger Games stole from this film. I also discovered that the original book adapted to this film was released a few months after Mario Party. Could Koshin Takami have played Mario Party and played some mini-games like Bombs Away, Bash and Cash, and Bumper Balls, and become inspired to write a story about 42 students killing one another to survive? Unlikely, because supposedly the book was finished in 1996 and was entered into the Japan Horror Fiction Awards in 1997. But it was rejected and wasn't published until 1999. After watching Battle Royale, I jumped into some Battle Royale video games. Fortnite, which I had played before but felt very neutral towards. The only thing I can say about Fortnite is that its menus are god-awful. PUBG, Players Unknown Battleground, which was the definition of unfun. And Call of Duty Warzone, which felt the most natural to me since, like any high schooler in the early 2010s, I spent thousands of hours playing Call of Duty in my teens. After experiencing these games and films, I realized I could just make my own young adult dystopian novel about a wrongly convicted main character being sentenced to death via Mario Party minigame. I decided not to do that because it's more exciting and immediately satisfying to make a top 10 video where I build a dystopia in a video instead. So here's the world I've created. 4 criminals are tried, found guilty, and sentenced to death. They will then compete in a Mario Party minigame in front of an audience, similar to the Hunger Games, just like gladiator fights eons ago. It's entertainment for the masses. I had 3 rules when picking minigames for Mario Party. First, the minigame needed to have a fatal ending for those who didn't win. Secondly, it had to be a free-for-all minigame. There are plenty of single-player minigames in Mario Party history, which would typically qualify, but our current society has a battle royale fever. The masses have latched on to the idea of multiple people contending in a dangerous game, so that's why it's significantly more attractive to imagine 4 criminals duking it out in a minigame, rather than 1 criminal jumping from teetering tower to teetering tower in teetering towers for Mario Party 1, which would easily be the most interesting single-player minigame to recreate in real life. The third and final rule was to select more realistic Mario Party minigames. Many fantastical elements are found in Mario Party. Take Hot Rope Jump, for example. Giant sentient flames do not exist, so this minigame is near impossible to replicate. I suppose one could pour lighter fluid on the contestants and have them jump rope with a fire rope, but it just isn't the same. So here we go with the top 10 Mario Party minigames to recreate in real life for the death penalty. Number 10. One of the hardest things about picking minigames for this list is considering Super Mario characters' unrealistic abilities. Countless videos and thousands of online queries discuss Mario's unrealistic jumping ability. One Quora user asks, "Is it possible to create a real-life version of Super Mario Bros? What type of technology and funding would be required to make it happen?" Which yields a hilarious response from Gerald Minter. No, you can't make a real-life version of Super Mario Bros. There's no sound effects when jumping or smashing blocks or collecting coins. There are also no Goombamas to stomp on, and no mushrooms to make you giant-sized, etc. A giant turtle isn't gonna kidnap a princess that you have to rescue from him. None of this is possible! It's funny how worked up Gerald got while answering a harmless question. I just discussed how I excluded minigames that were too fantastical for real life. This first pick is a stretch, but that's why it's number 10. Platform Peril from Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. Platform Peril has 4 players jumping from one platform to the next in the sky. The platforms fall quickly, so the players must keep moving. Translating this to real life would be challenging since the average human doesn't jump nearly as far or high as Mario and his friends. There is a simple solution to this, and that's just simply placing the platforms closer to one another. Platform Peril is one of the most underrated minigames. Maybe it isn't underrated, but I'm out of touch with the Mario Party fanbase. So maybe people love it and I just don't know. Still, it has always been one of my absolute favorites from the series, especially the Mario Party 2 version, which adds treadmills to the equation. Having 4 people jump from platform to platform would be immensely entertaining for all who watch. That's why Platform Peril is number 10. Number 9. In 2012, the world moved when the Nintendo Wii U launched. The world moved because the world moves every day. It's moving right now. The Wii U launch did nothing. The console flopped. Everyone knows this. The launch of the Nintendo Wii U sparked something, though. Nintendo Land was released on November 18th, 2012. Nintendo Land is a game celebrating the history of Nintendo and showcasing a wide range of their intellectual property from Animal Crossing to Pikmin, including some exciting picks like Takamaru's Mysterious Castle and Balloon Trip. One of the most remarkable features of Nintendo Land didn't lie in these games. After playing an attraction in Nintendo Land, the player earns coins, which can be used in the coin game in the main plaza. Introducing the Plinko Nintendo game. Drop coins you earn into the machine to win prizes. This made me realize my love for Plinko, a style of game I hadn't played in the 17 years I was alive before Nintendo Land. Although I did experience Plinko to an extent once. I just didn't realize it until years later. In the critically unacclaimed Mario Party 9, the minigame Tumble Temple drops 4 players at the bottom of a Plinko board. Spiked balls, varying in size, come rocketing down the board, and the players must move out of the way, otherwise they'll be knocked out. Bars will retract and appear occasionally throughout the minigame to redirect the spiked balls to trip up players. This minigame is a blast, regardless of your feelings about Mario Party 9. Recreating it in real life would be exciting for viewers and possibly fun for those on death row. Having the opportunity to die while playing a faithful recreation of a Mario Party minigame seems like a great way to go. Number 8. When the phrase Mario Party minigame is spoken, a specific minigame pops into everyone's mind. Typically one they're fond of. Many veteran fans of the series would think of a particular minigame: bumper balls. Earlier I spoke about how I'd like to avoid more fantastical and unrealistic Mario Party minigames. Bumper balls initially felt too unrealistic to be put on this list. But after some research, I learned that rolling globes, the technical term for what the characters do in bumper balls, isn't as challenging to learn as I first thought. Hypothetically giving the criminals a few weeks to learn how to roll on a globe, and with the help of a professional, we could make bumper balls a reality. Watching this minigame in real life would be a joy. But I wouldn't trust the 4 participants to stay on the ball the whole time. It would turn from bumper balls to Fish Upon a Star, a minigame from Mario Party 5 where 4 people punch each other off a platform until they're the last one standing. Because of that, bumper balls does not make this list. It was close though. While playing minigames, I considered the hypothetical of hiring a professional to teach specific abilities in this dystopia I've created. While playing Mario Party 8, one minigame tickled me in the right way. Treacherous tightrope. Far above the ground lies a rift between 2 rocks, with 4 ropes bridging the gap. 4 contestants approach the rope and must cross without falling to their death. Harsh winds blow, making the minigame even more difficult. The first one that makes it to the other side of the rift wins. The rest fall to their untimely demise as soon as the one person wins. Of course, that doesn't have to be the case if it's recreated in real life. Multiple winners could be allowed. The 4 competitors can work with a tightrope expert leading up to the event as they try to teach them how to tightrope. We could give them 7 to 10 days before the game to learn the basics. Treacherous tightrope is a banger and should be celebrated as a death sentence. Number 7. Build blasters from Mario Party 5. People shoot each other with cannons while spinning in circles. It would rock. Number 6. But what about Smash? A second Mario Party 9 minigame has hit the top 10 list. I don't love Mario Party 9, I prefer the broken Mario Party 10 over it, but Mario Party 9 knows how to deliver some entertaining murder minigames. Smash Compactor is one of Mario Party 9's all-timers. Smash Compactor is a musical chairs inspired minigame. At the start, 3 holes open up. 3 contestants must get into a hole to be safe from the ceiling that smashes down when the time runs out. After each smash, 1 less hole opens until there's 1 man standing. It's a relatively quick method of elimination compared to some of the other games on this list, but each second of this minigame is exciting. Smash Compactor is the most gruesome minigame on this list, since the remains would be visible to everyone, even the contestants. I question how popular this minigame would be for people to watch, considering how most people have understandably intense reactions to dead bodies or human remains. But I think about the era of Romans and how Colosseum fights were such a popular pastime and almost always ended in seeing a human body ravaged. At least that's what the movie Gladiator has taught me. If this minigame weren't so gruesome, I'd place Smash Compactor higher simply because of my love of musical chairs. I didn't get to play much musical chairs growing up, and because of this tragic negligence, fatal minigames with musical chair-like elements make it into my videos. I think musical chairs was the original Battle Royale. Either way, Smash Compactor also got on this list to mention Super Smash Bros. Because I am a simple-minded individual who looks at a Nintendo character and says, hey, they should be in Smash! Number 5. One Battle Royale show I haven't mentioned is the 2021 Netflix hit Squid Game. The wild series that makes a statement on capitalism, then gets turned into an actual game show by a corporation. The show is all about 456 people competing in life or death games for millions of dollars. In episode 7 of Squid Game, there's one game where the remaining contestants have to cross a glass bridge. The bridge itself is 2 tiles wide. One of the 2 tiles is fake, and the other is real. The players must cross this bridge while navigating the correct tiles. It's my favorite game in Squid Game. So when I was playing Mario Party 10 minigames to find some minigames for this list, Fool Me Once popped out to me and reminded me of that excellent game from Squid Game. Fool Me Once has the players standing on platforms above the clouds. Each platform has a corresponding button tied to it. Clouds spat out by foos cover the platforms they need to jump to. The player must remember the buttons to press, otherwise they'll fall through the clouds to their death. Not really, they don't actually die, it's a video game. Of course they don't actually die. However, unlike video games, real life does not have a retry button. If we were to make this a minigame, criminals would have to participate, and they would only get 1 try to memorize the platforms. The Mario Party game has 7 button presses to memorize. If it were real life, I'd suggest making it 10 times as long, because memorizing 70 things is too much for the standard human. According to psychologist George Miller, the average human can memorize 7 digits in a row. Anything beyond 7 causes the brain to fail. Of course, that's the average human. Many people can memorize dozens or even hundreds of numbers or letters in a row. Hopefully, the convicts participating in the real-life Mario Party minigame's death sentence are above average humans. There's not much more to this pick than that. I loved the Glass Stepping Stones game in Squid Game, and Mario Party had one like it, so I had to pick it. I want to take a moment and say that Mario Party 10 had some killer mini-games. It's a shame the game was immediately dismissed. The game is unbalanced and has the cars return, so the hate is justified, but the entire game isn't awful. There are some absolute bangers. Justice for Mario Party 10. Number 4. One of my most controversial opinions in entertainment media is that I wish Indiana Jones had ended after the first movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Temple of Doom is sexist and is a white savior story. The Last Crusade felt like a retread of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was simply mediocre, and The Dial of Destiny felt like an average Disney action flick. It's a Disney movie because it has a 5-second pause for cheering and applause when Indiana Jones's face is first revealed. I hate this trend. Marvel movies do it, and now Indiana Jones is doing it. Gross. I'm not mad that Indiana Jones became a franchise. It's interesting to explore more of this character. However, I would have preferred if it had one film and remained a cult classic from the 1980s. Oh well. All this to say, Indiana Jones does one thing right. Boulder sequences. Mario Party 6 has one of my favorite minigames, Granite Getaway. Granite Getaway is a simple minigame, and likely a homage to Indiana Jones, or maybe it isn't. Being chased by a boulder isn't always an Indiana Jones reference, but it's hard to separate boulder sequences from Indiana Jones. Super Mario Wiki, the same wiki I called out for comparing Lakalulu to Koopy-Koo in my Koopy-Koo video, even says, it's likely based on the iconic Raiders of the Lost Ark scene, in which Indiana Jones is chased by a giant boulder. 4 players run from a giant boulder that destroys everything, including a stone bridge. The presentation of this minigame is top-notch because of the debris that flies towards the camera whenever the boulder crushes something. This game would have benefited greatly from a 3D effect, but Mario Party the Top 100 said it wasn't a Top 100 minigame. But Coney Island is a Top 100 minigame, supposedly. Okay. Beyond simply being a top-tier minigame, Granite Getaway would be an awesome Mario Party minigame to recreate for the death penalty in real life. Society embraced consumerism in the 1900s, and seeing a minigame likely inspired by the box office hit Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark would draw thousands of people to watch this spectacle. Creating a course and finding a boulder large enough may be a heavy task, but it would pay off because of the universal appeal of this idea. Number 3. There's one type of minigame found in Mario Party that's beloved by many, maybe hated by few, but beloved by most. The Brawling to Death minigames. Lava Tile Isle, Fish Upon a Star, Wrestling Rapids, The Final Countdown, Platform Push. Each one of these games is delightful for those who like to duke it out. Smash Compactor was on this list earlier, however, smashing was the most exciting part of that game. Now we're dipping into the Battle Royale aspect of this entire scenario. 4 contestants beat one another up until they hit others off the platform. The last one standing wins. In reality, this is no different than gladiator fights from ancient Rome. However, the added factor of falling off a platform makes the battle far more entertaining. I originally wanted to pick Wrestling Rapids because it'd be supremely entertaining to watch 4 people duke it out on a raft going down a violent river. Plus, the river they fight on is pretty. While that's intriguing, I love the idea of Bouncy Brawl more. Bouncy Brawl drops players on a giant trampoline in the middle of the sky. The players must jump on the trampoline and spin in mid-air to knock players off the trampoline and plummet to their deaths. In Mario Party 10, it's not brawling, it's simply pushing. If recreated in real life, we can allow contestants to use any form of violence they see fit to knock their opponents off the platform. Well, this isn't much different than Mario Party 5's Fish Upon a Star. It has a trampoline. Having a trampoline shakes things up in a way Fish Upon a Star couldn't. Sorry to all the Wii U haters for including Mario Party 10 twice. It's not my fault you hate Nintendo's greatest console. Number 2. Because this list is entirely subjective, I can place my favorite Mario Party minigame here. I have even more reason to do it because it makes sense to be on this list, and rightfully so high. Bumper Balls gets all the love from the early Mario Party games. Bumper Balls is widely considered the best Mario Party minigame and arguably the most iconic. However, Mario Party 1 also debuted Mushroom Mix-Up. Mushroom Mix-Up places 4 players on a platform with 7 differently colored mushrooms. A toad stands on a nearby mushroom and waves flags. Whichever color is on the flag, the players must run to that mushroom. Otherwise, they will fall into the water. Once in the water, a sinister blooper drags them off screen, and I assume the blooper strangles them to death or something silly like that. Mushroom Mix-Up is impressive. But it's not the number 2 pick. Its sister game, Hexagon Heat, is the actual number 2. Hexagon Heat is a reskin of Mushroom Mix-Up, and it debuted in Mario Party 2. The difference is that it's not some silly mushroom game above water. It's steel plates that dip in and out of lava. One wrong move, and the player is toast. As mentioned during Platform Peril, the only issue with Hexagon Heat is that humans cannot jump as incredibly high as Super Mario Bros. Characters. The descent of platforms into lava would have to be much slower, or have the platforms slowly descend for a few seconds, and then slam on the gas and plunge that platform into the boiling magma soup. This would be one of the most humane ways to execute someone because the death would be reasonably quick. Humans don't die as slowly as Gollum did in The Lord of the Rings, and nor do they sink in lava, but I'm not here to explain science. I'm here to talk about killing people. Hexagon Heat would be immensely entertaining to watch if it were real. It's my favorite minigame, so maybe I'm the only one who would enjoy it. Initially, Crater Crawl from Mario Party DS took this spot in the top 3, but after much deliberation, I realized it was too fantastical. In Crater Crawl, the 4 players climb the interior walls of an active volcano. Pillars of lava erupt from the magma pool below. If any player is caught in this, they're out. The idea of watching 4 people climb a volcano that's spitting lava sounds entertaining, but unrealistic. First, where can we find a volcano reliable enough to erupt at a specific time for public executions? Second, how safe would it be to line the volcano walls with wall holds for even the physically weakest competitor to stand a chance? Third, experts from the US Geological Survey recommend staying at least 300 meters or 984 feet from lava. Otherwise, lava can burn the skin off a human body. Having these competitors as close as they are in the actual Mario Party DS minigame would be impractical because as soon as the lava rose, all 4 people would suffer immensely. Nobody would win. Hexagon Heat must have its platforms at least 300 meters, 984 feet, above the ground, so the contestants don't burn up while fighting. My earlier idea of making the platforms crash at extreme speed into the lava would keep contestants from being tortured by the rising temperature as the platform descends. Everyone wins. Hexagon Heat is terrific and, without a doubt, one of the most entertaining Mario Party minigames to watch. Number 1. The luck-based minigames are some of the most infuriating in Mario Party history. When Bowser's Big Blast comes on the screen, everyone in the room is focused. The weighty anticipation of waiting to see if the eyes count down or the smoke exhales from the turtle's nostrils. This minigame is so iconic and eye-grabbing that it has appeared in 4 different games. Mario Party 2, Mario Party 4, Mario Party The Top 100, and Mario Party Superstars. However, despite its evident popularity, I don't believe this is the most intense luck-based minigame in the franchise. Cut from the Team is the best luck-based minigame and the #1 minigame from Mario Party we should recreate for the death penalty. Go! 4 players stand on a towering rocky pillar, sharing the elevation with clouds. The height is staggering. Using the supposedly 7-foot-tall Waluigi as a measurement, we can gather that this pillar is 721 feet or 219.7 meters tall, and the players stand on a plateau near the pinnacle, 619.5 feet high or 188.8 meters high. I would feel immense discomfort up there due to my fear of heights. Perhaps my fear is why Cut from the Team has reached the #1 spot. Sorry, Bowser's Big Blast, you'd be #1 if you took place on a tower or something. Maybe. Cut from the Team presents the 4 players with 10 strings to cut with scissors. If the player cuts one of the 3 specific strings, they will be flung off the rocky spire. And when I say flung, I mean capital F. Flung. This is the most entertaining minigame in Mario Party, in my opinion. Watching everyone shakily cut a rope and wait for their fate to be decided is the beauty of Mario Party. What makes this even more gripping is the suspense that follows each cut, and the inevitable screams from the player, whether they're safe or not. Cut from the Team's anxiety is why it's the perfect minigame to recreate in real life. Plus, the song that plays here, it's on now. It's heat! Next time you go out voting in your democratic country and see question 4, which asks whether or not the government should take inspiration from Mario Party for the death sentence, then checkmark that box if you'd find joy in seeing rightfully convicted creeps like get tossed off a 619.5 foot tall plateau. Those are the top 10 minigames from Mario Party we should recreate for the death penalty. I will begin my political campaign soon. This video will be the foundation of what I promise to change when elected as a government official. We will recreate Mario Party minigames for convicts and criminals sentenced to death as entertainment for the general public. And now I want you to go back through this video, and every time I say the word convict or criminal, replace it with the synonym billionaire. And that's how the world will be when I'm in office. I'm done yapping. Everything I said is subjective. My opinion changes every day, so I'm forever a hypocrite. I'll see you in my Pandora's Tower video.